Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving headfirst into one of the biggest, most heated debates in digital marketing. Can you really use AI-generated content to rank on Google, or is it just a shortcut to nowhere? Let's get right into it. Okay, so this is the heart of the matter, isn't it? This question has marketers, creators, and website owners totally divided. On one hand, you've got people saying AI is this incredible tool that's saving SEO, and on the other, people are convinced it's a destructive force, just killing it with spam. To get to the bottom of this, we're going to start by really investigating the two sides of this argument. Is AI just creating a bunch of low-value noise online, or is it actually the key to unlocking some seriously superior performance? So, in one corner, you have the critics. They're arguing that AI is just flooding the internet with these generic, unoriginal articles that are basically destroying SEO. But in the other corner, you have the proponents. They believe it's an absolute game changer that lets them produce way more content and get better results through data-driven improvements. All right, so you've heard both sides of the argument, but let's move past the opinions and look at the actual evidence. What does the performance data really tell us? It's time to follow the numbers. Well, the research is pretty clear on this. And the short answer is, yes, AI content absolutely can rank. But, and this is a huge but, it only works with meaningful, quality human oversight. So the real question isn't if you're using AI, it's all about how you're using it. And check this out. Here is some hard data to prove that point. One study found that content created with AI help and then polished by humans saw up to a 45% higher growth in organic traffic. And what about purely manual workflows? 0%. I mean, that's a massive difference. And this really shows you why that hybrid approach is just so powerful. Look, AI is incredible at speed and scale. It can recognize patterns and whip up a structured draft in seconds. But humans, we bring something totally irreplaceable to the table. We've got genuine, experience-based insights, strategic storytelling, and that kind of subtle nuance that actually builds trust with a real person. So, the data looks pretty compelling. But what does Google, the ultimate rule maker in this whole game, have to say about it? Let's go straight to the source and break down their official position on AI.
You have to know this acronym, EEAT. It stands for Experience, Expertise, Authoritativeness, and Trustworthiness. Basically, Google is asking, does the author have real-life experience with this? Are they an expert? Is this website a known authority? And maybe most importantly, can this content be trusted? These four things are Google's North Star for what makes content truly great.
And here it is, the official word right from Google. They don't care if you use automation. What they do care about is quality. So yeah, AI-written content is totally allowed, but if you use it to just pump out spammy, unhelpful, or misleading articles, you're going to get penalized. It's not about the method, it's all about the outcome. Okay, so we've got the data and we've got the official rules. Now, let's get a reality check. How is this actually playing out in the real world? Let's look at the word on the street from SEO professionals who are in the trenches every day. And a super clear pattern emerges when you listen to the community. So what's working? Using AI to create outlines and first drafts, and then having human editors and experts come in to refine them and add real examples. And what fails? Pretty much every time. Bulk publishing raw AI blogs and just trying to scale with zero quality control. I love this quote from an SEO manager on Reddit because it just captures the professional consensus so perfectly. AI is a brilliant intern. Think about that. It's incredibly fast, super helpful, but it still needs guidance. This completely reframes your role. You're not just a writer anymore. You're a strategist and an editor-in-chief, guiding your AI to create something genuinely valuable.
So now that we have all this evidence, let's actually build a playbook for how to succeed. But before we get to the winning strategy, we have to talk about the risks, because you've got to know what you're up against. First up, and this is a big one, you have to be aware that AI can just make things up. Research shows these so-called hallucinations, which are plausible but totally false facts, can show up in up to 27% of what an AI spits out. If you don't have a human fact-checker, you are seriously risking publishing misinformation.
And second, Google's own use of AI in search results, things like AI overviews, can seriously slash the traffic to your website. We're talking up to 60%. It just summarizes your content right there on the results page. This means your content has to be so good, so valuable, that people still have a real reason to click through.
So the solution is to have a structured workflow, just like this one. You have to treat AI as a content accelerator, not a content factory. You see, it starts with human strategy, then uses AI for the heavy lifting, but then you layer on human editing, original insights, and super strict quality control.
So as you're creating your content, here are the key questions you need to be asking yourself. Does this actually solve the user's problem? Does it show real first-hand experience? And maybe most importantly, is this written for a human being? Answering yes to all of these is how you start meeting those high standards for quality and trust.
Okay, so after looking at the data, the official rules from Google, and what the pros are actually doing, what's the final verdict here?
The verdict is crystal clear. AI-generated content can definitely rank, but it can also fail, and fail spectacularly. The winning formula isn't just AI, it's the combination of AI assistance, deep human expertise, and strict, rigorous editorial oversight. At the end of the day, you have to remember that search engines don't reward automation just for the sake of it. They reward content that meets these fundamental human needs. They reward value, experience, trust, and real, genuine usefulness. Look, AI isn't some passing fad. It's a fundamental tool, and it is here to stay. So the future of content doesn't belong to the people who can publish the most stuff the fastest. It belongs to the strategists, the editors, and the experts who can leverage this incredible tool to publish the most useful, the most trustworthy, and the most human-centered content on the internet.